Good evening. I am Peter Ossing. I am a saxophone player and composer. I started playing the flute in high school, influenced and inspired by Ian Anderson from Jethro Tull. I was fascinated by Jethro Tull's flute, and that was my first instrument. Also, a friend of mine in high school who was the relative of a famous drummer. He gave me a drum set, so I started playing drums. Actually, I played drums and flute. Then I went to high school with somebody who came from the classical world, and he actually is a famous composer in the classical world today. He was one of the first people in my life that I saw play the saxophone.
All right.
His name is Paul Dezen,
All right.
and his music has been performed by the Los Angeles Philharmonic. They had a group called One Foot, One Eye.
And,
It was really amazing. It was out of this world. They were all teenagers, but they were like a youth symphony orchestra players. After seeing them, something came to me, and I really went after music. I started taking piano lessons. I had a French teacher, and I had the need to improvise. I had like structure, classical training, but I had the need to improvise, and it caused me a lot of friction with my piano teacher. I also had a saxophone teacher, and after I met Mr. Dezen, I played in a number of rock groups and stuff. And at age 19, I had the opportunity to sit in with Mr. Stan Tracy,
all
who
right.
was a member of the Rodney Scott group in London. That's like the most famous jazz club in London, and Mr. Tracy was a good friend of keyboardist Keith Emerson. I went to college for music for 2 years, but I graduated in something else. Actually, in my last year of college, I used to play with a gentleman named Riney Bryson, who was a disciple of Roland Kirk. You know, that guy that plays like three saxophones at once.
Yes.
And I was very good friends with Riney. I've learned a lot from him. We had a band called King Biko X. That means King for Martin Luther King, Biko for Steve Biko, the South African revolutionary.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Let me ask you a question.
Yes,
Can you play more? How many saxophones at once?
Yes, I can play 2 or 3 saxophones.
At one time?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just hate to brag about it.
No, hey, look, that's a gift. And a
Thanks.
gift the world should know about your gift. Don't ever hate what God has blessed you with.
I debate doing that because there is not. I mean, you can only do so much playing 2, 3 saxophones at once. It's fascinating, but you're limited.
Oh, yeah, well, I got to say that I love artists that can do that. I saw Alicia Keys do 2 pianos at one time.
Wow.
And it was awesome. So
Wow.
let's get back to you.
And you know what? I always admired Roland Kirk. I mean, he played like no one. Actually, Quincy Jones called him American music royalty, Mr. Roland Kirk. Of course, he couldn't read music because he was blind. I've been fascinated by him all my life. Well, then I was exposed to a band called Passport. And Passport has an incredible saxophone player. And he inspired me to think musically, because Passport maybe had the most advanced electronics that any other group had in that time. And actually, Mr. Doldinger is a highly respected film composer. So why didn't I finish my music degree in college? Because I changed my major into film. So I studied music, but I graduated with a degree in film production, and then I attended later on. I went to the American Film Institute, so I have a film career too. But I played with a number of bands. I used to play with a band called Edla, and our manager was Walt Kahn. Walt Kahn was the manager for Little Richard and the Temptations. And we struggled in the LA music scene for a long time. We once got to open for Fishbone in the Red Hot Chili Peppers at the
Mm.
Roxy. Oh
All
man,
right.
I was so happy. I thought we made it.
Mm.
But the guys in the band had substance abuse problems, and it was nice to see the guitar player play with his teeth, and kneel and play
Hey.
with his teeth,
Hello
and
now.
go crazy setting the guitar on fire. But I think Mr. Khan got tired of us. Actually, due to that band and working with that band and Mr. Khan, I got my first film directing experience. I directed about five music videos for the group for Mr. Khan. Mr. Khan died, and as far as I know, the guitar player is working at Starbucks in Laguna Beach. So I guess God works in mysterious ways.
Oh yes, yes for
Yes.
sure.
Uh,
And speaking of, oh, I'm sorry. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead, Gigi, please.
Well, speaking about film, you also are what do you call it in the film industry for finance
I am a production consultant
out there?
in the field.
Tell
of,
us about production consultant.
Yes, that's what I am.
And could you tell the audience what that is?
You know what? I am basically a broker. Okay. So since I had a career in cinema, let me tell you some of the things that I did. I was camera assistant to three-time Emmy Award winner Charles Henry. That's how I got my feet wet. We did a number of shows and shot music videos, commercials, documentaries, short films. We did about 2 feature films. Then when I graduated from Charlie, I saved all my money and I bought my own equipment. I actually had a blimp Arriflex 2C,
Hello.
which is the exact copy of the camera that Stanley Kubrick used to film or to shoot Clockwork Orange. And I had a psychologist girlfriend that played an amazing trick, and she disappeared with all my gear. Mary, I hope you can hear me, baby.
Hello.
I know you did it.
You are exposed.
And you know what? She said in front of like hundreds of people that she has never loved a person as much as she loved me.
Okay.
She proved it, She proved it. And she was a beautiful, beautiful blonde that looked like Marilyn Monroe. She got me. She got me. And then when I try to find her to get my gear, guess what? She is dead. And she cannot be found.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
I'm so
So you
sorry
know what?
to hear
I
that.
don't trust psychologists after that.
Okay. So as far as your consultant.
Let me tell you, okay. Then after working with Charles and then having that after I bought my gear, I was director of photography for Rudy Ray Moore. They just made a movie about his film called Dolomite with Eddie Murphy.
Yes, I saw that. Very good movie.
Yes, I work with and it's exactly the way it is in the movie. I mean, it was shoot. I got hit several times for shooting karate. And I got into working with him because of his partner invited me in. His name was Dr. Doc Watson. And
All right.
He died. We worked with Jimmy Lynch in a film called The Day After. I did not complete the film because I was using my own gear, and they promised me a certain amount of pay. And when they didn't pay me, I bailed out. I'm sorry, Mr. Moore. It's hard to find honest film producers out there in the independent field. But I did work for him, and after that, because I worked so hard, I had no assistants. So as a camera person, cinematographer, DP, I had to load the magazines in the bathroom, inside the bag. I was pouring in my own sweat, and they saw my effort, and they introduced me to a studio president, and that's how I got out of working in the set. They gave me my first large film to represent, and the name of the film was To End All Wars.
So how did you do with that?
My father had friends in some very large oil companies.
So that was a successful deal.
No, it was not. It was not. I fell on my face, but after I failed, they gave me about 50 movies.
Okay.
And I have represented in film finance the top 5 names in the industry.
Okay, very good.
Thanks.
So, if people, as a consultant, how is there a way people can contact you?
Please check Peter Ossing, production consultant, film finance on LinkedIn. You can find me, and I'll answer. Send me a package. I got financiers.
Okay, now audience, you heard that, huh? So on that note, tell us before we get into your other music, you were
Yes, ma'am.
still working as a musician. As a matter of fact, I met you, what, about 6 years ago?
Yes.
With Rosalie Brooks at one of performing. And,
Yes.
and definitely you went on, I mean, you still as a great musician.
Thank you.
That
Gigi,
we're the
thank
audience
you.
that get to hear your style. So tell us a little bit more as it regards you in your music, because I understand you got a new CD out. You're working with a whole new band
Yes.
now, and tell us about that group. You
know
and
what?
that group.
It's weird. I used to know this lady. Her name is Renee. Okay, Renee was an accomplished singer. She has some major label recordings in the '80s. Actually, her producer was Hal Davis. And I was given employment by Renee. She goes by Renella Moore or Basha. So I was working with her in places like that, Pomona, a music festival, in some club gigs. And through Renee, I met Dr. Mickey Osanki, guitarist, and he was involved with the founding of Hiroshima, the jazz fusion band. I started playing with them. Renee bailed out of the group, and I stayed playing with Dr. Mickey Osanki, an incredible person with an incredible musical vision, plays guitar extremely well, and I also connected him with, because of my job as a production consultant, I knew about a company that could sign us into Sony Orchard. So we have worldwide distribution through Sony Orchard, which is maybe one of the largest record companies in the world. They have 7 CDs, and my fifth CD it's called the Mountain Castle Band.
All right now.
The Mountain Castle Band. And we play in the Mountain Castle Band with session players that play with the Rolling Stones, Jeff Beck, Celine Dion, and my friend Mike Albert, who was guitarist with Megadeth, Santana, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Frank Zappa. He has played with us in 5 records. Great friend. He has a project with Santana that I'm trying to get financed. And again, I'm very thankful to God because after struggling in music financially all my life, it gave me a career. Dr. Sankey pays us very well for the sessions, and we got international distribution. We are going to be on European radio next month.
Hey, congratulations.
Yes, I'm very happy.
Congratulations.
And also, I have 2 more gigs. Thank God. Talent is a relative issue, but I have God's blessing, and He opened other doors. I'm working with director Maurice Auderman, who's a veteran at the Cannes Film Festival, and his father was a famous producer. So I'm doing a complete soundtrack for 2 movies for him.
Very
And
good.
this is why I'm always tired, because I'm always practicing and recording, and it's not easy.
Very good. So recording, you want to tell the audience about your new sound CD and show them the CD?
Sure. This is with Dr. Sankey. It's called the Mountain Castle Band, and it has Mike Albert from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Megadeth, Santana, and Frank Zappa. Dr. Mikio Sankey, formerly from Hiroshima. And we got Chris Wanser, who's an experienced producer who has produced sessions and recordings for bands such as Deep Purple and also Christina Aguilera. Some of our brothers in the band, such as Gretchen Angel. She was reviewed by Downbeat magazine that reviews all the biggest talents in jazz music. And some of the other players record. One studied with Jaco Pastorius, and they have done big sessions for like Celine Dion, Barbara Streisand, also Juliet and the Lakes. You know that actress Juliette Lewis, who's wild and crazy. She has a group. They did sessions with Christina Aguilera, Jeff Beck, and the Rolling Stones. So I'm very proud to be in their circles and to have the opportunity to play, record, and learn from all of them. I'm also recording. I got a project. Of course, I'm a student of John Coltrane and John McLaughlin in the Mahavishnu Orchestra.
Okay.
And I always had an interest in music from India. Of course, we all know the Beatles. You know, they played with Ravi Shankar and the sitar. So, you know, actually, that was my first experience with music. You know, I saw the Beatles at the Ed Sullivan show, and I really thought it was the apocalypse. I really thought it was the end of the world.
Hey.
Honestly, and I guess since then I always had an interest in playing music from India. So I'm playing and doing a whole record with a professional sitar player, which is quite inspiring. You know, I'm a church-going person. I'm a Christian person, but again, the sound of the sitar fascinates me. I'm in and I'm doing the music composition for director Maurice Audman, and always practicing, always practicing.
So tell us, how can they get this CD?
Okay.
Where is it? Downstream it where?
The band is called the Mountain Castle Band. You can see it on YouTube, okay? And the distributor is Sony Orchard. You can download it, you know. I don't know all the story,
yes,
to be honest with you, but please check us out on www.mountaincastlemusic. mountaincastlemusic.com.
You're in that audience.
Right, and you can find us, do downloads, check where to go. Our distributor is Sony Orchard, and again, we will be getting airplay on European radio next month, which is next week.
Thank you so
You're very welcome, Gigi.
Thank you.
I appreciate this opportunity.
Oh, yeah, and on that note, and this is something else you want to say regarding your as a musician. Is there something else you want to say?
You know what? It's weird. I guess I'm frustrated for not being a scientist. I used to have dreams as a child of becoming an astronaut. It's weird, and I have aviation experience. This cost me a lot of trouble with my mom, but I have solo hang gliding, so I'm always thinking about aircrafts and stuff. So I have a very strong interest in aerospace. Why am I saying this? Because I like experimentation. My role models in music are Chick Corea, who just died. I was obsessed with Chick Corea all my life, to the point that it was an unhealthy obsession. I have studied every lick he played, and I hope that before I go into the afterlife, be able to reach that level
of playing music.
Yes,
well, I'm so sure.
Creating
the music.
Yes.
I'm so sure you are you're going there now. You're already growing toward that right now.
God bless you.
So on that note, tell us. We know before we go into your music.
Yes.
I want you to give the audience a little insight on what you feel about this whole new opening. Everything is opening up again. At the same time, we're hearing these new surges coming up. in India and etc. A couple other states. How safe do you think we really are? You as a musician, what advice would you give to the audience?
You know what? It's weird. I'll try to be as frank as possible because I'm not a political person.
Your own opinion. That's all.
Sure, sure. Basically, this is my only advice. Stay healthy, stay with God, and you will walk safely.
Amen.
Too many people talking trash and misleading people and trying to confuse everybody to sound important. Stay with God, and He will direct you.
Amen. So on that note, Peter, would you do 3 songs for us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm Peter Austin. I'm a saxophone player. I am a first-time film composer, and I wrote this music for director Maurice Oderman, who is a veteran of the Cannes Film Festival. You know, it's for you people too. God bless. Good evening. Hi. I'm Peter Ossing.
Doing my favorite snack.
This is my favorite snack. Why is this my favorite snack? Because it's healthy.
Hello.
And it takes no effort to make.
Right.
And this is my advice. Whenever you need a snack, take one of these bars.
All right now.
Also, I just played 3 songs. It's for director Maurice Alderman, who is a veteran of the Cannes Film Festival. I played it as a single piece because I thought about this music as a composition for a film, for an entire film, but they're actually 3 different pieces. The first section is called A Soldier's Tale. The second section is called Mercedes. And the third section is called Child Simon. I hope the music, I hope you guys, I hope your friends enjoy this music of mine. It's been an effort, and I thank God for the fact that I have this opportunity to write a film score. I'm basically a jazz musician and a saxophone player, but thanks to Maurice Alderman, I'm having the chance to write this is the first film score that I write in my life. I hope to write many, many more. Thank you.
All
Good
right.
night.
Whee!
God bless.
Very good. Thank you, Peter. Thank you for being on I Am the New Set. Don't turn it off yet, Peter. I'm coming over. Thank you very much. Don't.
Again, this is the best snack you can find. It's easy to make, and it's totally healthy.
Hey now, thanks. All I got to agree with you. Is it also energy bar?
Yes.
Okay, Peter.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to thank you so much for
You're welcome,
being on
Gigi.
the show. Thank you for taking your time to come here and let the audience know who you are.
You're very welcome.
And playing that beautiful music. I was just telling them earlier that me and my kids, I would play classical music during dinner time. That's the only way I can get them to start understanding music, because they was into the hip hop and the R&B and all. But I wanted them to have all styles of music, and that is so beautiful. And it's a good treat. It's definitely a good treat, and I would tell every parent. I mean, I know it's up to you. Today's time is totally different, so I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say thank you. Thank you again for being on the show.
You're very welcome, Gigi. It's a pleasure to be in your show, and I sincerely value this opportunity.
Thank you.
God bless.
Okay. And thank you for being with us again on I Am the New Set. And until next time, stay safe, please.
Thank you.